Aloha, everyone. Wednesday was a fantastic day for the stock market, as we'll go ahead and start it off with the NASDAQ. As the NASDAQ finished up 1.20% with volume above average, and that's excellent to see because yesterday, after we hit a new high in the NASDAQ, we got a technical distribution day, and historically, it's never good as soon as you hit a new high, you're followed immediately by distribution day. Excuse me. Whoa. However, what is good news is whenever you are followed immediately by another above average volume day, two new highs, it's hard to worry too much about that technical distribution day. So once again, we're under a buy mode and everything looks great in the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is under a buy mode now, joining the Russell 2000 under that condition, which also hits a new all-time high. The S&P 500, with today's above average volume move and new move into new highs, 1721. Actually, it's not a move into new highs, but basically it's a new move above the recent trend line highs. I wish that the charts were a little bit more easier for me to see here. So the close above there we go. So S&P 500 is now also under a buy signal. The New York Stock Exchange is also under a buy mode, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average remains in a neutral mode. Nothing's changing there. Underneath, we did have three sells. VOXX is not moving higher immediately, with it closing below the 20-day moving average. It is at least a 50% sell. If you want to sell more, you are more than welcome to, as in this kind of tape, you would think that everything would be moving up. However, Vox isn't, so it's gone. CQB failed, miserable failure, heavy volume, red bop, the whole nine, so CQB is out. And UVXY was taken as a position because it closed above the 50-day moving average. Just as a reminder, whenever we enter a market like 2008, this position is going to make a ton of money. And anytime it closes above the 50-day moving average, it will continue to be a position I add. However, it was only a 2% position. We got an excellent fill in the morning, so we're only going to be taking about 11% loss on it. But UVXY 50-day moving average cross above / hedge is off. Three new longs, all speculative. However, all high quality speculative. RDN's weekly chart shows clear heavy accumulation throughout the year. The move off 50-day moving average coming to the pocket pivot point signal. Looks absolutely solid. Fundamentals are okay, nothing amazing, so it's hard to get too excited really over this one stock. But overall, the technical pattern is beautiful. So 2% in the risk account only. ARC, similar situation. Earnings estimates for 13 and 14 are absolutely fantastic. But right now, the sales and earnings growth isn't that great. But still, once again, just like RDN, ARC's weekly chart shows clear heavy accumulation. You get another nice move off the 50-day moving average on strong volume with the pocket pivot point signal. Kind of similar charts. So it's also going to be a 2% risk, 0% non-risk. Then you have RMTI, a biotech stock producing a pocket pivot point signal. This a lot of stocks in the biotech world are either moving like ARWR did, without volume whenever it does decide to break out. All ARWR has to do here is have above average volume on this day, and it's a new long, and we enjoy the massive gains. Notice that the base is longer than the current RMTI base, but the RMTI base is also extremely constructive. Once again, extremely low volume in the pullback area, high volume right off the base lows with a pocket pivot point buy signal, and we've had max green bop this entire time. Since even before the move in September started. So overall, good looking stock. And the market probably has a chance to continue to go higher. Look at Goldman Sachs today. Look at Citigroup today. Look at Bank of America today. And look at JP Morgan today. Look at FAS today. Look at FAZ. So if anything, I would bet that stocks definitely would prefer to move higher. Will they? You never know. But I tell you what, those are some great stocks to have moving up if you want them to move higher. So continue to keep your eye on those bank stocks and see if they can't follow some of the small bank stocks, which are doing very, very, very well right now, as you can see just by those two that I threw up. Okay, everyone, I'm going to wrap it up here. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday.